Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Let's make sure that this is on before we jump on here live. Jay, are you getting any audio on your end?
1 2 1 2. Let's make sure that this is on before we jump on here live.
I think we're good to go. Good to go. All right, man.
Yeah, on Mixer we have about a 5-second delay, but we're good.
We're good. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at around the world. This is Drama-Free Gaming. Welcome to DFG Podcast number 000. It's going to be all about introductions today. And guys, as you tune in, whether you jump in here live while we're doing this or on a replay, I appreciate if you hit that follow button, especially over there on the YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Help us get to that 100 subscriber mark. That is our goal for now. We got about 35, 36 subscribers the last time I checked. And that's going to help us a lot. Hit a thumbs up. Leave a comment. But remember, keep it drama free. That's what we're all about. With me today is my brother from another mother and the same heavenly father. It is Dark Dad, also known as Jay. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, brother? What's going on, world? I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. How about yourself, brother?
This has been a long time coming, brother. And, you know, I was thinking about it the last couple of weeks. We're doing a whole lot, guys. And I want you to know that if you are here, if you're listening to this is really a project of love. We know there's a lot of talking heads out there, right, Jay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Understand, guys, we do these things out of love and fun. We love gaming. We're old heads. And, you know, we want you to come and share the excitement and share the love of gaming like we do.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. And you know, what we're trying to do here is eventually let this grow into not only talking about what might be going on today. We try to stay current. But we don't just want to be another podcast to jump into the mix and kind of echo what everyone else is saying. We want to bring our own little flavor to it. And part of that flavor is going to be our own experience as the average casual gamer who are really not fanboys of anything, but we love our games. We love our gaming. And hence, DFG Podcast will be moving forward. Exactly that. A place for you to come, chill, hang out. Maybe we talk about something that you've never heard of. Maybe as we chat, we might bring up stuff that you can say, hey, I remember that. I remember when I played that game, or I owned that console, or I remember when that event happened. And you guys will be participating in the chat and contributing to the growth of this channel. Just as much as we might be giving you something, again, brand new to your ears. So definitely appreciate you being here. Jay, let me start this off by just asking you to just tell us a little bit about yourself, man, and maybe we can just ready up on the game as well.
Okay, well, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jay, aka Dark Dad. I have about, sadly enough, and this makes me feel so old, 3.5 decades worth of gaming under my belt. Yeah, I know.
That's it? 3.5 decades.
Yeah, why you gotta make it seem so bad, man?
You're a young whippersnapper, brother. What are you talking about?
What? Oh, no, don't you even go there, brother. But, I've gamed most of my life. Gaming has been a thing. I've met a lot of great people from gaming. That's how I met you, brother. I met a lot of other brothers out there. So, that's pretty much about me. I'm a father doing everything I can to make it in this world.
Yeah,
and even teaching the young ones how to game.
Yeah, man. Let me just back you up a little bit on that, because just for you guys who are listening, Jay, where are you right now playing from? Where are you streaming from?
Believe it or not, I am sitting in my bedroom, on my bed, playing a video game. Ain't that sad, ladies and gentlemen?
Well, I mean, let me be a little bit more specific, man. I'm sorry. I'm coming. I'm coming.
You asked, I answered.
I'm coming live from the state of Florida, the Sunshine State of Florida. Where you at, Jay?
Oh, I'm out here in the Carolinas.
Jay,
North, to be exact.
Jay is in North Carolina. So guys, one thing that you should know is that, we're not in the studio. We're not even living in the same state. Jay and I, as he alluded to here a moment ago, we actually got together a couple years back. How long has it been, man?
I'd be honest with you, not trying to lie, I don't know.
Well, okay, so we usually measure our time from when we met way back in the beta days and the alpha days, actually, of the division. So the division's at least 4 years old, 5 years at this point.
4 and 5 years old, I think so.
Yeah.
I think
So we actually met. I think it was it in the dark zone playing the beta. It was an open beta.
No, it wasn't a dark zone.
No?
We were playing, we just happened to meet up in a mission.
Okay.
And we were just like, yo, we want to play some more? And we were like, cool. And we just got to know each other. We're like, yo, this guy's excellent. This guy's cool. And brothers quick.
Yeah. I mean, if this is a bromance in the making, it is what it is right now. I mean, we got, we got together, we played the division, we had a blast, and then I think it was about a month after that beta, because the game didn't come out immediately after that beta. It was about a month, but we decided that we were gonna friend each other on Xbox. That's where we're playing, and just get together and play division, and it's been history ever since. So we've been good friends. We've never met face to face, believe it or not, but we've seen each other through screens and whatnot, so we know each other's ugly mugs, and we can spot each other from a mile away. So but yeah, that's
I got the broken phone to prove my
yeah. but yeah, man, I mean, that's in a nutshell, that's how we met, guys. And talk about just having the blessing of being able to just have a great experience online, period. I mean, with the way things are today, I'm not gonna get into that, but yeah, hooking up, playing, and having a blast, and then bringing on some of our other friends who we have one on standby. I'm not gonna bring him in yet. Hopefully he's tuned in. I don't think so, because I would have probably seen.
Probably not.
He probably not. He probably just waiting by his phone. But he's biting at the bit now to get in here and chat it up with us. But we'll bring him in here a little bit later. But Jay, now that we've kind of introduced each other, talk to me about a little bit more about that, gaming history that you have. 30 years. I mean, that's a lot of time to cover, brother.
Well,
so,
I mean,
give me some highlights, some cliff notes.
Being that doing the highlights, I remember when Nintendo Entertainment System came out, 84. First time I played it, definitely the old Mario Brothers. Wow. Just now thinking about that, I grew an extra gray hair, the NES, the Genesis, the Master System, the Atari Lynx, and some of these systems you guys have probably never even heard of. The Atari Jaguar. It's sad that, I follow gaming for this long, and I've seen the changes, lived through the console wars, and everybody knows the console wars. It was definitely Sega and Nintendo back in the day, which, sadly enough, Sega kind of,
Sorry.
they slept, they went to bed on that one.
Yeah. You know what, brother? And I was thinking about this today, and I didn't want to really get into this topic, just jump in there. Let me ask you one more question. A lot of people maybe who listen to this, maybe some of the older cats, by the way we speak and the games that we mentioned, you guys are gonna figure out pretty soon or pretty quickly that we're not young bucks. I'm in my mid 40s, exactly in my mid 40s, And I've been a gamer since, like Jay said, since back in the days of Atari, ColecoVision. A lot of my own personal experiences were playing, other people's consoles because, I ain't have it like that. But yeah, it was Sega that really was my first console, Sega Master System. And, I never looked back from that point on. Never became a pro anything, but have always enjoyed gaming. And so that's where we're coming from, guys. Let me ask you, Jay, we talk about gaming and all this other stuff and whatnot, and I just alluded to it. I was thinking about it today. There's this whole, conversation going on about the Xbox One X, not the Xbox One X, excuse me, the Xbox Series X, and the whole convention with the naming of the system and how, that's so confusing and this, that, and the other. I'm thinking to myself, well, every time that they, and I'm generalizing, whenever anyone speaks and makes that argument, I think to myself, well, how many grandmas are going to be going out there purchasing for their grandkids, a next-gen console? Like, I'm figuring, and maybe I'm biased because I'm in that demographic, but I'm a 45-year-old man. I buy my own electronics. I'm a gamer. I'm in the loop of things. I mean, if I don't go out and buy a new iPhone or a new Samsung phone every year, but I don't see the problem with it. Like with the name, like I think that's all just this made up stuff that people are going to be confused about the naming of this series, and they're going to get it mixed up because there's an Xbox One X, Xbox Series X, an Xbox whatever S. I mean, what's your take on that, brother?
Well, first off, I want to say this: if you're complaining about a name of a system, you need to grow up. Seriously, it's not. It really doesn't matter what the system is called. You're not paying for the name; you're paying for the system. So, and if you don't like it, don't buy it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's
that simple.
I think it's a bunch of nonsense, really. Like, I think it's just people looking for points. Like when the Apple phone comes out, the new Samsung comes out, the Note or whatever it is. You got the Note 5, the Note 6, the Note Slim, the Note this, the Note. Ain't nobody going out there and saying, "Oh, I'm confused. Which one is which?" Like, you go out there and you know which one is the newest one. And I think it's the same thing with console gaming. Let's just be real. I was looking at how many people watched the Game Awards. According to, to them, it was like 45 million people tuned in to watch the Game Awards in December. You telling me that the majority of those 45 million people who watched the Game Awards were grandpas, grandmas, little kids? No, I don't think so. They were gamers, people in the industry, people who are in the loop like we are, that are not going to get confused about a name, or like you said, don't really care about the name. They're just there because they want to see what the hardware is, what's the software, the games that are coming in, and that's that. I don't know.
Well, God. I don't really understand what is there to complain about. Ever since systems have been coming out, I've never heard anybody complain about a name. Not the Wii, not the NES, not the Genesis, not the Dreamcast, like anything. But now all of a sudden, it's called the Series X. Does it really bother you that much?
Yeah, and I mean,
you're going to buy it anyway?
Yeah, I mean, and people just goof. I think, again, I don't want to harp on this point too long, but I think it's just people just looking for something to talk about, and not really, using some common sense and saying, hey, you know what? The system has been announced since December 2019. Xbox, and this leads into my next point. Xbox now is on everybody's lips, for better or worse. You know what I'm saying? Whether you like the brand or you don't like the brand, and I'm gonna reiterate this again. I'm coming from a place where I prefer the Xbox, hands down, but I'm not a fanboy. I've owned PS4s, PS4 Plus Pro, whatever the name of it is. I've had systems. I'm a gamer. But at the end of the day, you know, Xbox, whether you like it or not, they're controlling the conversation. They're the ones at this point that are in everybody's conversation, upon everybody's lips, and yeah, and they're controlling. You know, they're controlling what people are speaking about concerning gaming. At least in our little, you know, in our little gaming world.
Well, you know, brother, pushing the conversation forward, I would like to know. Tell me about your first gaming experience.
Dang, my first gaming experience, boy. You gonna take it back that far? I mean, I alluded to it before. It was that Sega. Sega was my first console. And I remember playing Phantasy Star. Well, it was actually 3 games. The game that I did want to play was Phantasy Star, but I was exposed to Outrun, Phantasy Star, and Space Harrier. Those were the 3 games that I played on that Sega Master System. I'm proud to say I did complete Space Harrier, and I did finish Phantasy Star. Yeah, I mean, I did finish those games. But brother, you know what? I mean, you know, I don't want to go off on a tangent on that, but that's when gaming, that's when you, oh, I mean, I hit the wrong guy. That's when gaming was where you played the game you had in front of you. There was no patches, there was no DLC, and you didn't complain. You didn't know when you was going to get your next game because of money or because of, you know, when the next game was going to come out or whatever. And once you put that money down, you played that game whether you liked it or not, whether it was garbage or not, and you committed to a game. How many people play games today? I would like to know how many people play games today and actually complete or beat games. I know I don't.
I can definitely attest to that. But speaking of gaming today, you know, back in the day, people complain about pricing now, but when you look, you know, way back when gaming systems were expensive, guys, the Sega Saturn, when it first released, was almost $600.
Yeah.
You know, Super NES games would cost you up to $70.
Yeah, I remember Strider. You remember that game, Strider? And now we're talking about the Strider was one of the first that I remember, one of the first 16-bit games on the Sega Genesis. And for Strider, you paid easily $80 to $100, easily. So, you know, we're talking.
That's insane.
We're complaining now that, you know, games are $60 and that they're too expensive and this and that, and then this other conversation about, you know, oh, these developers are losing. There ain't nobody losing money. Let me tell you, you're making your money. If your game is good, it's gonna sell. It's gonna get supported. People gonna play it. But that's another topic for another day. But yeah, games were pricey. $80. Phantasy Star, I remember, was like $110. I don't know if I'm wrong. Y'all tell me.
Well, you know what? Phantasy Star, when it came, Phantasy Star came out in the 80s, and it was, first off, it was an amazing game for its time, and secondly, keeping up with the price thing. Come on, guys. You know, people out there, get real about it. If you're gonna buy the game, don't complain. Just buy it, especially if it's a good game. You know, be grown about your money.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's gonna be something again that we can get into it here and talk about, you know, till the cows come home, if that's even a saying. But yeah, man, you know.
Well, it's a saying. The same thing as a pig's fly.
I guess. I'll take your word for it, brother. I'm a city boy, so I don't know nothing about cows and none of that stuff. Anyways, but
wait.
I ain't saying nothing, brother. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not even gonna go down that path. I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone while I'm ahead. Guys, I do appreciate you catching this on the VOD, if that's what you're doing here on YouTube or on Mixer. Appreciate you hitting that follow button. Appreciate you subscribing if you're on YouTube. Help me hit that goal of 100 subscribers. I think we should bring Nate in and see if he's around. Nate, if you here, and I know he's not because I would see how many people are in the channel right now. He's definitely not in here. But maybe if we send him
Nate probably just waiting on waiting on that love to come through. That's what Nate thinks.
Send him a little invite and see if he comes through. Yeah, let's see if we get out of this little section here first.
And while he's trying to bring in Nate, I want to tell you guys, it's you guys, when you leave comments, you guys can guide the conversation. If there are topics and things you would like to hear about and know about, please leave a comment, send us a message. We are happy to engage and talk about things you want to hear about. You're getting it from going to hear it from an old-timers, gamers experience. You're not going to get the whole, happy-go-lucky. You're going to get it real. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter the topic. We will talk about it.
Yeah, and we do got our own expertise, and just like each and every person that plays their games, you're gonna have your experience to talk about. You're gonna have knowledge about certain things. I was just watching the CES show that's going on. Actually, it officially launched today, but people were waiting at CES for PlayStation to announce or to reveal, the PlayStation 5. I was one of those. I was waiting for a reveal. We got a logo. People were mad. A lot of people became apologists and started defending. It's whatever. I'm not going to echo what everyone else is saying. All I know is that I'm not worried about Sony because Sony hasn't given us a reason for us to worry. I mean, they delivered this generation some awesome experiences, a great console. They've sold over 100 million of their consoles. I mean, they got a base, a big support base, so they're not going anywhere anytime soon. And I don't want them to go anywhere anytime soon. I want them to bring the big guns, because competition is good, and that'll keep Microsoft on its toes. Let me just say this also as well. We don't have a set schedule yet. We're gonna be working out the kinks. Hence, this is episode 000. It is the very beginning. There's going to be times where we will release an episode that will be pre-recorded. Learning about video editing. Working on my custom-built PC. I say custom-built. It was built by me. I just updated the CPU in there. And there's a lot of work that's going on behind the scenes to try to get this going. And again, I don't have any pipe dreams of this becoming something, but if it does and there's a small community that comes around it and supports it, why not? There's more than enough to go around.
That's true. Well,
so I said,
guys, remember,
Go ahead, Nate, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, and remember, guys, we do this for fun. This isn't something where nobody's trying to quit their job and do this full time. We do it for the game.
Well, I'll tell you what, if it blows up, I'm going to quit my job.
Brother, you ain't quitting that job.
Brother, if this gets big, I mean, in 3-4 years, 5 years, why not? I mean, you know what? I was having this conversation with my wife, and, we were on a walk, and we'll talk about that another time, but, I was sharing with her kind of like my history. I don't even know how the conversation started. I was sharing with her my history of gaming, my recent history of, from building the PC to getting on Mixer to doing the streaming to meeting people through Mixer, which is an awesome platform, guys. If you're catching us on Mixer, it's an awesome platform. And I met some great people, some great streamers on Mixer. Shout out to TPD Magic if he is hearing or catching this on a replay. or even if you guys are on Mixer and you want to check out an awesome streamer, really entertaining, really good guy. TPD Magic was the first guy that I met, but I was sharing this with my wife, and it dawned on me that I have had the opportunity to pursue this, especially now, like in this time and age. When I was growing up, not even growing up, when I started raising my kids, I was in my young 20s when I got married and had my first child. And it was a shame. It was frowned upon if you was married and, had kids and whatever to say, oh, I didn't even know that was a timed event, to say that you was a gamer. That was something you just didn't share with anybody but your friends. Excuse me. Now, in this, 2020 that we live in, how many people are not out there, older, gamers that are out there and have channels and are putting out content and quality content and making a living as something that they love to do. And I love gaming, man. I love gaming, man, and I have a gift for speaking, that's for sure. So, why not? Why not?
Well, brother, I've always told you since you got to the days of streaming that you can do this, and you've done a very good job on it, and I got to give you love and props for it.
Oh, I appreciate that, Jay. I'll tell you what, my greatest fear, and this might sound, ludicrous, but, my greatest fear is success. That it will become something that will take my time and commitment. But I've kind of faced that realistically and say, you know what, if it does, it does. And, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Oh, yeah, but right now, this is fun, man. We're doing this for the fun of it.
Yeah, that's all it is, man. That's all it is. I sent Nate this invite, and I don't know, man. He hasn't responded.
Well, you know what? Since Nate's not responding, I did get an invite or a message from one of the other brothers that would like to speak.
All right. Well, I mean, if you want to come on, who you bringing on?
Well, Kyle's been wanting to get on.
Okay.
So I mean, we can see how if he's ready to do this. Let me see.
All right. I don't know if that brother's on. Hopefully his mic is good. I'm hoping. I mean, last time we played and whatnot, his mic was just doing all sorts of things. I know it was him, so.
Is he in the chat right now?
No, I don't see anybody on the chat, but I don't know. It might be lying to me.
How does everybody get on our nerves?
Okay, you don't have the stream. You don't have the stream going on, right? Oh, but that's how it is, man.
No,
it's like you
when you going live.
Yeah, you tell certain people something, they get excited, and then when it's go time, they ain't around. But it's all good. It's all good. That's why I don't put my expectations to anybody. Hey, what's going on? That's Dusty on YouTube. What's going on, man?
Dusty?
Hoobie2129. Yeah, man. I know that hi baby's anywhere. What's going on, brother? Dusty is one of those guys that I met again. It was on Mixer. He could tell you the story. I wish he would come on right now. Dusty, can you get on live and we invite you into this chat, man? And I would love to have you here on the very first episode. Oh, he's at work. LOL. This made my day. Oh, you at work right now, brother? Okay.
Yes, brother.
So
Dusty, much love, brother.
So guys, Dusty is up in NYC, New York City, and he is probably neck deep in some snow, and yeah, he's got a hectic job. Lots of love to you, brother. But yeah, we're gonna have Dusty on the show because I got a chance to meet Dusty. I went up because I am from New York, and we met, and it was brief. It wasn't too long. It was for a couple of hours, but we hit it off. And yeah, I've gained another brother from another mother and the same Heavenly Father. So it's all good. It's all good.
Amen to that.
I wonder, man. I'm wondering, Dusty. I wonder where Nate is at, and I don't know. Anyways, but guys, let me just keep the conversation going. I want to share some things that I happen to see. Just tuning in again to CES, I alluded to that. We had Hisense. You know that name brand, Hisense. They make televisions. They were talking about some laser TV technology, and I don't have.
How does that even? How is?
Brother, I don't have a clue.
How's that possible?
I don't have a clue what it is, but this is what I want to get to. That I'm not sleeping on these brothers because you remember when LG came on the scene and everybody was like LG, and then you know what LG stands for, right?
Like.
Life's good, exactly. So when you saw LG, this name brand come out of nowhere, and you're like, life's good. What is this trash company? It's not like if you say Sony or Panasonic. Those are like brands.
Well, don't forget the old Mitsubishi back in the day.
Yeah. But then look where LG is at now. They're like the number one. In the world when it comes to OLED screens. They're the ones that are manufacturing.
That was Samsung.
No, brother. LG puts out all the OLED screens on every device that you own that has an OLED screen.
Are you serious?
Yup. So if you buy a Samsung, if you're buying anything that has an OLED screen, it's coming from LG.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So my point to that is that these, LG was like a nobody back in the days, and look where they're at now. So I'm looking at Hisense, and they're out there, and I'm like, these guys probably are onto something. They're talking about this is gonna be the new, technology. And I wish I had more time, and I wish I would have taken notes. I was kind of like driving and trying to, listen in on what they were talking about. But these laser TVs. And this technology that they got going is talking about, how the human eye perceives colors, and how with these laser TVs, it's gonna actually be softer on the eyes. It's gonna give, truer colors. The whole spiel. So it sounds really interesting. I want to see what where they're gonna go with this.
Well, my thing is, I know Hisense, they do a bargain brand TV. Not like Samsung or LG, and they're an American company, I believe.
Hisense? I'm not sure. I don't.
Yes.
I don't know if they are or not, but yeah, that's how LG started. When LG came out, what's the other company? TCL or TLC? I forget which one it is.
TCL.
They were at the show, at the CES show as well, and they were talking about. They were talking about mini LED. And again, I need to do a little bit more research on it, but I don't sleep on these companies because they're the new kids on the block, and they can be the next LG or the next Sony. Oh, have you seen what Vizio has been doing? I mean, they've been putting out quality products at competitive prices for quite some time already. Like, I think they just redid all of their sound bars and whatnot. So yeah, they've been putting in some work. Dusty says in the chat, he says Zenith. Oh my gosh. I remember commercials for Zenith. Yeah, Zenith. What is Zenith still a brand? I don't even know.
Yeah, actually.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I remember when Zenith, they used to be the one. Zenith used to be the best big screen TV back in the day.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? And talking
who
about
makes
Go ahead. Who makes what?
I was gonna ask, who makes the Aqua? Is that Sharp?
The Aquos, I think it's Sharp. I think. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong. Maybe Dusty can help us in the chat room. The Aquos. But what was I getting at? Oh yeah. The the sizes of TVs. I forget where it was that I read it. That right now with 4K, which really isn't 4K when you break it down, but again, that's another conversation for another day. That the sweet spot for 4K, as far as like screen size, is like anywhere between that 55 to 65 inch, screen. Anything bigger than that, the picture starts, to lose its resolution. Now, I don't quote me on this. I'm just saying it's something that I kind of like came across and I remember seeing, and I said, you know what, it does make sense, because the bigger the screen, the further you have to be from it, and if you're only going to like, project at a certain resolution, then things are gonna look pixelated and choppy. Like, I don't know how on the stream this game looks. Like, I'm looking side by side at my computer monitor and on my LG 55 inch. And on my computer monitor, this game right now that we're playing looks great. Like, it does not look pixelated or anything. Now on my 4K OLED LG TV, 2019 models, C9 or whatever it is, it doesn't look as sharp as my 1080 gaming monitor. So it makes a lot of sense.
Specifically for gaming.
Well, I mean, it's a computer monitor, but what I'm saying is that it's a smaller monitor and it's projecting at 1080, so it's not as stretched out as it is on my big 55 inch TV. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. Now,
Dusty says Aquos TV is Sharp brand. Yeah, Sharp.
Now, brother, you've been following tech for a long time, and you said earlier that you built your own computer. Now, about a week ago, you were building your computer and had a couple. I thought you'd tell us that story about your build here.
Oh my gosh, bro! I was gonna save that story, but I guess now's the present since you brought it up.
Come on.
What's going on, Kyle? Kyle in the chat. Kyle, we wanted to kind of pull you in, but we wasn't too sure if your mic is up to snuff. I don't want to put you on, and then there's all this echoing and all that stuff. But anyways, we'll talk about that another time. But anyways, you was asking about this computer. So, man, it started off by me just wanting to, and Dusty knows this about me, and anybody who knows this about me, I'm always tinkering. I'm always looking to learn something and whatever. So, the long and short of it was, back in 2017, I built my first PC. And it was just something that I just wanted to do, and I did it. Now we fast forward to the turn of 2019, and I said to myself, you know what? I'm wondering why I'm dropping frames and all this other stuff. I've learned a bit more about PCs and all that stuff and whatever. So Dusty says, yep, always learning. That's me. And so I found out that my CPU, I have an i3 Intel 8th gen chip inside my computer. My CPU was bottlenecking, wasn't strong enough for my graphics card. So I said to myself, you know what, let me do some research. So I did some research, long and short of it. I decided to go with an upgrade. So it was supposed to be simple, brother. I mean, I looked up the YouTube videos. And it was like, some not some 12-year-olds, okay? No offense to 12-year-olds, but some reputable, people that looked like they were techies, and they were like, yeah, the first thing you want to do is you want to update your BIOS. So I looked at the video and I'm like, okay, this is easy. Get a not a zip drive. Get a thumb drive, do this, do that. Follow the steps, right? So I'm like, okay, this is not hard. I'm gonna update my BIOS, then I'll be ready to, crack open my tower and get, to swapping out the CPU and put in my i5 9th gen CPU chip in there. Brother, I went to go update the BIOS and my computer crashed. Like Windows would not boot up. It was touch and go there. I almost cried. I had like a 2017 flashback because I suffered so much. Brother, I suffered so much building my computer because I didn't know about this thing called compatibility. So I just started ordering parts from Amazon. I said, okay, you need a CPU and a graphics card and some RAM, and you just put it all on the motherboard and everything's gonna fit and it should run. No, it didn't work that way. So my system wouldn't boot up. Okay, so here I am. I'm in panic mode, brother, because it's the end. It's towards the end of the year. Okay, this is the turn of. Oh my God. I was gonna say we died. Oh, we did die. My computer wouldn't boot up. Finally, I got an error message after like hard resetting it, with the power button once, twice, whatever. I forgot how many times, but I got an error message on it. And I said, okay, I'm pretty much screwed. I looked up videos. People were like, oh, you need to go into your motherboard. You need to take the battery out and reset the CMOS. And don't ask me to explain it to you guys because I can't. All I know was that I tried everything and it was about 2 a.m. and I was like, no, this can't be. So I finally gave up and said, you know what I need to do? I'm gonna need to now go out and purchase a new motherboard. That's what I'm just saying to myself. I gotta go purchase a new motherboard and swap all my components out and put it on the new motherboard. So mind you, I had already bought a CPU which ran me about $100 and something, maybe $130. And this is like right after Christmas, guys. I had a couple of bucks on me, that I was gonna like try to hold on to, got a little bonus here and saved up some money there. So I already had the money for the CPU. The other money I had in my hand, brother, was for me to chill. But no, that wasn't gonna happen. So I went out, got a motherboard, upgraded the motherboard from a Z370 to a Z390. It's an MSI motherboard. Again, I'm not gonna break it down for you, explain it to you. It's just a current motherboard. Now, mind you, my previous motherboard is not shabby, but wound up swapping stuff out, brother. My God, I'm just gonna ramble on here, brother. So if you got, forgive me. This was an experience that I thought I was never going to have to go through, especially with building my PC back in 2017. I went through the growing pains, but this was a whole new experience. I took out everything from my tower. I took out my graphics card, my Elgato capture card, my RAM, the CPU, the fan, everything, unplugged everything, whatever. And I said to myself, okay, this is gonna be easy. All I need to do is just, swap out the CPU. Did that, and this was before I bought the new motherboard. I swapped out the CPU, put it in there, booted it up. I still got the same error message, and I said, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to buy another motherboard. So I went out, bought the motherboard, came back home, did the whole process all over again. I thought I was good to go until I was gonna put the fan on top of the CPU, and I had no thermal paste. And I was like, wow. This is not happening to me, man. A project that should have taken maybe, an hour or two tops, turned out to be an entire day project, bro. It's never easy. Don't believe the YouTube videos you see out there. It's never easy. Not for me. Never. But I stayed on there.
It's always easy, brother.
No.
You got bad luck.
I don't believe in that luck business, bro. It's just you know what? If something's gonna get done and it's worthwhile doing, guys, you're gonna go through it. You're gonna have some problems. I can select a character. Here I am thinking I couldn't select a character. Okay.
Now you making it seem like dealing with that computer was wow, really?
I got the last hit.
How you jump in and punch this dude in the mouth and he just fall on the street?
Man, I didn't know you can hit the start button again. I thought I used up all my credits. But what were you gonna say, Jay? You were saying something about the computers, and I forgot.
But see, you making it seem like you were married to this computer, like this computer was a marriage. You got to work on it. It's gonna go a little rocky sometimes. You're gonna get it back together. I mean, come on, brother.
I don't know what anybody else's experience is, but my marriage has not even been close to that. Okay, this computer has given me, some real heartache and pain. But mind you, check it. This is the funny part. I went out to get some thermal paste. Okay, the Best Buys that's closest to me is like in the next county over. I have to drive like a good half hour to get to Best Buys, okay, from where I'm at. Oh yeah, I almost sold that PC. I was just reading the comments. Yeah, Dusty, I almost sold that PC. but listen, I went to the Best Buys twice. I made that trip twice, okay? To get the CPU the first time, and then oh, look at this guy jacking me up. And then to get the motherboard. So that already was like, what, half hour one way? That's 2 hours. 2 hours in your day, right? Then about another hour to take everything apart. And I'm meticulous. I have to make sure that the screws and everything are where they belong so I don't lose anything. So I take my sweet time. So we're already going on like 4 hours, all right? Then on top of that, there goes Jay in the chat. Show love. Then on top of that, guys, I'm like, okay, I'm about to put the CPU in. There's no thermal paste. So I'm thinking to myself, the only place I can go to is Best Buys, right? Well, not really. On the way there, I drive by this store that I hadn't noticed before. It's about maybe 10 minutes away from my house. And I said, oh, okay, let me drop in here. It was like a computer / gun place or something. Like the stores were literally like side by side. I go up to the computer place. The door is locked. And there's a sign that says, go next door. I'm next door. So I go into the gun place. When I go into the gun place, brother, you still there? I just want to make sure you still there.
Yeah, I'm okay. Here, man. You good?
I go into the gun store, right? And it's just the owner's there. The dude reminds me of my dad. My dad's gone. Like he's been gone for a long time, okay? But he reminds me of my dad. He's this tall, like 6'2", lanky looking Puerto Rican man. He's probably like 70. The guy's 70, but he's slim and he looks, he's carrying, he has his gun on his hip and he's helping these two women out, right? Now, if y'all know anything about Puerto Ricans, they like to talk. And the older they are, the more they talk. That's men and women, okay?
Are you serious? Was it that bad?
Brother, listen, I sat in that store. I kid you not. I sat in that store while he was quote unquote chatting with these women, signing them up for like the gun license, the permit to take the class. Cause I didn't know, but he gives a class there and whatnot. I sat there for a half hour. Him talking about the good old days, talking about when he first got there, why he opened this store, yada, yada, yada. And I'm just like, Brother, I'm like, I just want some thermal paste, man. I could have been home, but I could have went. Listen, I could have went to Best Buys, got back home, went back out to Best Buys, and got back home again. That man was tall. I mean, I finally interjected because it just felt like he wasn't gonna like shut up ever. Nice guy, mind you. I'm not saying nothing, but I finally interjected. I said, "Excuse me, do you have some thermal paste?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll walk you over to the store." So he finally says his goodbyes, like another 15 minutes. Now we're going up close to an hour. Brother, close to an hour. I'm kidding you not. I'm not exaggerating. We go over to his store. When he opens the store next door, I've never seen so much computer components. And the man had also like I don't know, they were Hot Wheels figurine. He had comic book in this store. It looked like a storage room is what it looked like. There was like little paths that you walk through. And I told him, "You ain't got a business here no more?" And he's like, "Oh no, I don't do this no more." And I'm thinking to myself, I just waited an hour and you don't run this business no more? So
Wow, are you serious?
So brother, I looked at him and I was like, "You got that thermal paste?" He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get it for you." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." So he got thermal paste. I'm like, "Okay, cool. Let me be polite. You know, I'm polite. I'm just gonna chill and be polite." He says, "But I want to show you something first." So he showed me this computer he built, right? Mind you, I ain't asked him to show me the computer. I didn't want him to tell me about the history of computers. I didn't want none of this. Was all like, I just want my paste and let me go. But he turned on the computer. I gotta admit though, that computer was no joke though. I mean, I've never heard the sound coming out from a computer the way he had this computer hooked up. He said, "Oh, I custom built this, yada yada yada." I mean, he wanted to share some knowledge. So I'm like, okay, cool. He was telling me about what kind of fan was I putting on my CPU, yada yada yada. Anyway, long story short, we're going on about an hour and 20 minutes, maybe an hour and a half. And I finally break down. I say, "All right, well, you know what? Thank you for everything. I gotta go. You got that thermal paste?" And he had it in his pocket all that time. He produced it from his pocket. He was like, "Oh, here you go." And he charged me $10 for it. Brother, I would have probably paid.
That's it?
I would have probably paid $100 if he would have just shut up like an hour and a half ago. at the point that I was at, bro. But he gives me.
That dude charge you for $1.
Oh my.
Oh, that's just crazy,
brother.
Man.
The look of desperation on my face. I took the thermal paste. Oh, and then he guaranteed me that it was the best thermal paste out there, like ever, like that God's ever made. I don't know, whatever. But I come home, I get the thermal paste on, put my CPU on, put the computer together. Remember, you called me and you asked me, "Hey, brother, how much more time?" And I told you, "Yeah, it's gonna be quick." No, it wasn't quick. Right? It wasn't quick because you ain't hear from me like for like another 2 hours or something, right?
Yeah, I thought you was in surgery. I'm like, man, this is taking a minute.
Brother, man. Listen, I put the paste on, put everything together, booted up my computer, and I got the same error message. And I'm saying to myself, wait a minute. I got a new motherboard, a brand new spanking CPU. Everything is running right. What's the deal? Like, what's going on? So what I finally did, and I should have, and okay, now guys, here's the moral of the story. You know how when you take your vehicle, no, I'm not kidding, Dusty, no. You know when you take your vehicle, like, to the mechanics or something, and because, it won't start or something. I learned a long time ago, and I should have applied it to my, now more extensive knowledge of of computers. You always check the little things first. Don't conclude because you see on some video on YouTube, oh, if this is not working, it has to be this major thing. No. if the battery in your car or like the electricity or whatever it is doesn't turn on, you go check a fuse, don't you? I mean, that's what you do, right, Jay? Am I right? Like, go check the fuse, right?
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, make sure that the fuse is, you know, a maybe a $2 piece is what's it, and then you swap it out and it's fixed, right? You start troubleshooting from the little thing to the biggest thing, right? And so,
yeah.
I see the invite, huh? Let's see. Sorry about that. I kept seeing it in the chat and I was wondering who was inviting. But anyways, so I look up the code, okay? The error code.
Okay.
Brother, when I looked up the error code, it said this. I'm gonna put it in plain language. Seems like your hard drive got knocked around or something. All you gotta do is reinstall Windows.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
You notice I'm silent, right?
Just say, are you serious?
I'm just gonna let that sink in. All I had to do,
Nah, it's sick.
brother. All I had to do literally was take my Windows disk that I have, because I have a drive in mine. When I build it with a drive. Put it in the drive, turn the computer on, and it reinstalled Windows. And that was it.
Whoa, wow, man. First off,
okay.
I would shot my computer.
Okay.
I mean, I would have took it out back and shot it. I'm sorry.
But do you understand that? Okay, mind you, I already was gonna buy and did purchase the CPU, but I have now an extra motherboard. So it wasn't nothing wrong with my motherboard.
Once again, my computer would have been out in the backyard. It would have been sat there, and I would have shot it full of holes and set it on fire. I would have given it no mercy whatsoever.
But,
not none.
Brother Dusty is breaking it down. He's like, this is my expenses: motherboard, thermal paste, gas, money, time, almost my sanity in that store. Yeah, no words, brother. That's the experience that I wanted to share with you guys. I'm glad you brought it up, because if there's anything you get out of this episode, please let it be that you know what? Don't be scared to, like, you know, try something new and tinker, but there's a price that you're gonna pay, and it's gonna be more than just money. Because, you know, thankfully it wasn't, you know, that I didn't have the money, but it hurts though, because I was like, dang man, I could have saved $100 and something plus time plus all this other stuff, you know, and if I would have just known, but I didn't. So I'm passing that knowledge on to you guys. Yeah, if you get an error message or something, check the error message first. Don't go on YouTube and type in, you know, this won't start up or this won't work, because everybody out there is going to give you what their experience is. But I did not find out one video out there that said, hey, why don't you just try reinstalling the, you know, Windows.
Well, you know, I thought you were going to say lesson of the day: don't listen to an old Puerto Rican guy at the computer store talk all that.
Yeah, if you walk into a store and you see an old Puerto Rican man chatting it up with anybody, get out. You ain't gonna get no quick service in there. Yeah,
apparently your life was gone.
Dusty's telling me in the chat, he's like, good thing you don't smoke or drink, brother. I would have picked up smoking and drinking at the same time. Like that would have drove me insane. I don't know. I ain't got words. Did I ask Sleek? You know what? I did ask Sleek, but to be fair, I didn't share with him the error code until after the fact. When I saw the error code again, when I had put in my my new motherboard and the CPU, and I got the error code, I took a picture of it and I put it on Discord, and I asked, my good friends, Almost Sleek, the techie guy, and I told him, dude, what does this error code mean? And I looked it up, and it said, basically reinstall Windows, but I wanted to make sure, so I asked him. So he told me, yeah, all you got to do is just reinstall Windows and you should be good to go. And that's exactly how it went.
Wow.
Would I go back to that store?
Wow.
No, I'm not going back to that. There is no store to go back to.
Oh no, he going back. He going back. That brother will sit back and listen to 15 minutes worth of Puerto Rican talk. No offense to any Latin out there.
Brother, the same thermal paste that he sold me for $10, I saw it in Best Buy for $3. Okay, so no.
Are you serious?
No, I'm not going back. Now he got a gun. He got a gun store. I might go hit him up on a gun store. I don't know, but I don't know, man. It was nuts. That was an adventure, guys, in and of itself. So there you have it. DFG episode or podcast 000. Yeah, look what we wound up talking about. My experience with my PC, which I love. Now, mind you, moving forward, I'm good to go now, man. I mean, like my setup before was not bad at all. That's an understatement. But now with my current CPU, it's not bottlenecking my my graphics card. So I'm looking at my stream right now, and I got a bunch of apps open and all this other stuff. My CPU is only at 13%. I haven't dropped any frames, and we've been live for an hour and 2 minutes. So
I'm gonna tell you right now,
we're good to go.
All I heard was wah. I don't know. I don't understand any of that.
Brother, you gotta cross over to the dark side. That's what you gotta do, man.
Why you keep trying to bring me over?
You're in denial about all this, the computer. The computers are here. Look, the new Xbox Series X is a computer. The new PlayStation 5 is a computer. It's all it is, bro. With cloud gaming and SSDs, solid state drives and ray tracing. That's only stuff that you heard of in the computer industry. Never on a console. So these consoles that are coming up, brother, they're gonna blow people's minds who have no clue as to what PC gaming is about. And mind you, I'm not talking as one that have been a PC gamer all my life. I just got into PC gaming not too long ago. It's gonna be amazing. It's definitely a positive thing, brother. Most definitely.
Well, I'm not saying I'm not gonna go to the dark side, because I'm not gonna have much of a choice, but it don't mean I can't deny it till the time is right.
I mean, when you're a gamer, brother, I'm gonna say this, and I've heard other people say, and I think they're 100% right. I'm gonna go where the games play best, and if that's PlayStation 5, I'm gonna be there. If that's Xbox, I'm gonna be there. If that's the new Nintendo, and you've heard about the new Nintendo Pro, right?
Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, for the record, he means Xbox.
Yeah, well, what do you mean I mean Xbox?
That brother getting the Xbox because everybody that we play games on Xbox,
and
that's gonna be the first system he buys.
Yeah, that's another thing, right? All my friends are on Xbox, so yeah, that day one, I'm getting an Xbox.
And I can tell everybody right now, this brother gonna get the top tier system.
Yes.
And rub it in like he did.
Oh, come on.
He got now.
Come on, I'm just sharing, brother.
Nah, no, you rubbed it in. Yeah, I got that. I got the X.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? Hey. Let's see. So Dusty say new cars, cell phones. Bro, I want to look in PC gaming. but a budget. Listen, PC gaming, the only reason I got into PC gaming, I'm going to tell you the truth. Here's the whole truth and none but the truth. Because of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. That's the only reason why I got into PC gaming. That kind of opened the doors for me to discover Steam. And there's only certain games that I play. I should say certain genres that I play on the PC. And that's like RPGs. I'm playing Moonlighter on Game Pass Ultimate. And FPS games like Doom. I'm playing Doom on the computer as well because the experience is just, it's great. The speed of the game when you play certain games, I mean, I can just share my noob experience with you guys. It's night and day. Once you experience it, it's like, man, I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say it because that's not that's not culture to say.
Just say what you gotta say.
No. Well, okay.
Just say it.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to say it. But you know when you have that experience when you see something that you shouldn't have seen and you could never unsee it. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure everybody here has got a good bit of experience seeing something like that.
Well, I'll give you a perfect example. Like, I don't know who it was that put me onto it. Somebody tricked me into watching a movie called, and I was young. Okay, I'm talking about in my teens. All right, like maybe 15. I don't know, maybe around that age. But you remember that movie, The Crying Game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't have a clue about what that movie was about or whatever. But let's just say that, somebody put me onto it. I'm watching and I'm like, oh man, what a sad story, this and that, whatever. And then there's a scene in that movie that, you discover that the girl is not a girl. It's a dude. But the guy who's with her or him is like so deep in love that he's like, ain't no way I'm letting go. Brother, that
well, you know what? It just goes to show you love has no bounds.
Okay, I'm gonna leave that one alone, brother, because I didn't expect you to come back with that, all right? But anyways, but that's what I'm talking about. Like, once you experience something and you see something, you can't unsee it. You can't undo it. And that's how PC gaming is. When you experience games that you play on a console that you're used to playing at 30 frames per second or even 60 frames per second, and you throw on a game like Doom or Paladins, these FPS games, and you see them moving at 140 frames, 150 frames per second, you're like, oh man, it's like I can't go back. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Well, you can.
You can, but it's a whole total different experience, brothers. That's what I'm trying to get at.
I know, but you have to bring everybody else with you to the master race.
Well,
maybe I want to be stuck in the.
I'm not trying to bring anybody. I'm just letting you know that the new Xbox Series X, I'm gonna be there day one. This TV that I got that you keep saying I'm like rubbing people's faces into it, I'll let you know something. I'm so glad that I picked up this TV. And if you guys haven't seen my unboxing video, y'all need to see that because that's going to give you a big laugh as to the TV that I currently got in front of me. But I'm so glad I got this TV because I have played 1440 resolution at 120 frames. And it's buttery smooth, brother. Buttery smooth.
Okay.
That I'm gonna rub it in. I'm gonna rub that one in.
You gonna first off, you gonna have to keep that in layman's terms, brother. Because once again, all I'm hearing is womp.
Okay, I'll just say it. You got 1080p. You know what 1080p is, right? The resolution.
Yeah, I know what 1080p.
Okay, so the next resolution up from that, is usually 1440p. So on my 4K TV, instead of running it on 4K, which I said a little while ago ain't really 4K, if you get real technical about it, but at 1440, I have run that resolution at 120 frames per second. That's double 60. So if you play a 60 frames per second game, that could run higher than 60, but you have a TV, like let's say all TVs right now, unless they have the technology that my TV has, they're all gonna cap you or limit you to 60 frames per second. So your game could run at 200 frames, but you're gonna be locked at 60 because that's all your TV can handle to refresh. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So my TV is, I'm able to run 120 frames on my TV. So I get more frames. I get double the frames that you get if you're running a game at 60, and 4 times the frames that you get if you're running a game at 30. Did I lose you?
Well, nope.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what kind of TV you guys get, as long as you can smack something up on a video game.
That's all it. That's all it's
enjoy
about.
it.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, that's the bottom line, to be honest. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of us, we ain't got that millionaire money. We ain't got it like that to go out and get that gigantic OLED goodness. Some of us can only get ultra high HD. Some of us can only afford lower than that.
I mean, this
But
what it is. I mean, somebody got to lead the charge, right? Right, Dusty? Somebody got to be ahead of the curve and bring it.
Oh, I ain't mad at you for it. I want you to do it.
Guys, I'm just blessed and fortunate, and listen, gaming is an expensive hobby. If you're an enthusiast, and the more you tinker and the more you get into it, it's not like back in the days, again, when I was half my age. If you went around and told people, oh, I game, people look at you like, you a grown man. You're a grown man. What are you doing gaming? But now it's something that, I think it eclipses like even, moviegoers and stuff like that. Gaming is just a big time reality. Like I said, at the Game Awards, I think it was being viewed by more than 45 million people. That's a whole lot of people.
I mean, look how far gaming has come, though. You're talking about from the 70s, 80s, 90s, everything until now, and I mean, it was a point where you look at Mario Brothers, oh my God, look how amazing this is. And then Halo comes out, you're like, wow, I can't believe they can even make games like this.
Right.
And then that's when you get into the realism, like, what would be something that would be a good example of something that would be slightly more on a realistic side. Like, well, go Uncharted. I mean, just how far things have come. I'm glad to be a gamer. I'm glad I came up from the ancient days of gaming. I like the history. I'm glad I lived it. I'm glad I'm here to talk.
Yeah, man, it's definitely. Like I said, I'm excited. It's a great time to be a gamer. Ain't no shame to it. But back in the days, like Dusty agrees with me in the chat. He says, hey, yeah, he knows back in the days, if you say you gamed or whatever, people look at you like, you grown. What are you doing playing games? Like you got better things to do with your life. But now, you can play, through esports or just competitively or just casually like we're playing right now, and it's not. People don't frown on it no more. It's a big industry. It's actually something that, people are doing, which goes back to the beginning of this podcast and the conversation we were having, that I just don't get this whole conversation, this whole narrative about, people saying, oh, the Xbox Series X is confusing and its naming and yada yada yada. What's gonna happen when little Bobby and grandma go to the store? She's gonna be confused at what game to get. I don't think it's gonna be grandma going out to buy the game, to be honest. I think grandma's gonna do like my grandma would do. She give me the money and be like, here, go get whatever you want to get.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Mommy and daddy would buy it.
Yeah, that's how it works. And either that or you're telling me that people are so stupid that they don't know how to, Google something and say, what's the newest Xbox? And they're not gonna get the answer. Like, it's ridiculous, man.
Well, you gotta understand, man, it's not like it used to be. Whether it be gaming or anything else, stupidity has no bounds.
Yeah, well, we will see. I know I'm not gonna have an issue identifying whatever it is. Guys, if you're catching this on a VOD, that means video on demand, whether that be on Mixer or on YouTube, appreciate you hit that follow button. Appreciate you if you subscribe, hit a thumbs up. If you ain't like what you heard, hit a thumbs down, leave a comment. But as always, keep it drama free, people. Dusty's like, yeah, Dusty says, yeah, back in your days, or you're a nerd. Yep. Yeah, man, that's how it was.
Yep. And I would like to say that right now, there is a event that's called AGDQ. Please, if you hear this or if you're seeing this, please check those guys out. They what they are, they're speedrunners, and they play video games, and they do it for a cause. Whether it be to fight cancer or to help kids. And these guys play old school games, new school games, and they do at a breakneck pace that it amazes me. So please watch them, check them out, donate, because I'm going to. Well, it's a worthy cause. Anything supporting gaming, I'm with. And AGDQ will be going on until the 11th.
Now
please check it out. It's on Twitch right now.
You said that's ADDQ?
AGDQ.
AGDQ, okay. So what I want you to do...
Awesome games done quick.
Oh, awesome games done quick. Okay. What I want you to do is, when you get a chance, send me that link in a text, and then I'll link it up to this video.
All right.
And we'll put that out there. So if people hit this video up and you guys go check them out, again, we're not sponsored. We're not, getting a cut or anything. We're just doing this because it's something that we're, kind of plugged into. And that's how it's going to be here with this podcast. Again, some of this is going to be live like we're doing tonight, just chatting it up. We really don't have an agenda. It's the very first episode. It's just seeing how it goes. We're going to grow with this as we go. And if you can join us, that'll be great. When we get a more solid schedule in place, we'll do that. Maybe future episodes will be pre-recorded, but I kind of like this live format. I don't know, Jay. I kind of like this live format because it gives an opportunity to whoever tunes in to actually be in the chat live, like Dusty is. Like I saw Kyle there for a moment. I think somebody else jumped in and jumped out. It kind of gives us an opportunity to see what's going on in the chat and just interact as well. So we'll see. We're gonna play it by ear and see what the future holds.
I mean, if you guys like topics, remember we do this for fun. We will talk about anything. We will give you the straight up. There are no scripts here. Everything is off the top of our heads. We will tell you how we feel about it. No matter what it is. So please, once again, leave a comment. Leave anything you want to say. Something. Give us anything to talk about. We will talk about it.
Yeah, now
we ain't like everybody else.
Yeah, and like what Jay said, and I'm just gonna reiterate, yeah, we are unscripted as far as like, we're gonna give you our feedback on stuff and whatnot. But yeah, definitely there's gonna be some structure, kind of like some direction. Again, we don't want to just be an echo to what everybody else is saying. If we can bring in our own kind of expertise and knowledge and opinion on stuff, then that's what we're gonna do. Dusty says in the chat, I've always gamed since Atari and television, etc. Jay, what TV you're using right now? Is it black and white?
Well, you think I got a Methuselah TV, man?
Man.
Do you think it's that bad for me?
Yeah, Dusty, you know what it is that Jay makes it seem like every time I talk about my OLED screen, he makes it seem like, his is inferior or something, try to guilt trip me, but that ain't gonna work.
I can't help it. I ain't got no OLED. I can't afford no OLED.
Well,
Then his brother probably gonna get you're gonna get the laser TV too, man. Don't even front.
Hey, I ain't sleeping on those brothers, man, but I gotta see with my own eyes. That's tech that's not even here yet, man. That's just at CES 2020 that if you guys ain't checking it out, you should check it out. If you're even remotely interested about tech, it's not only TVs and phones and all that other stuff. They're talking about a bunch of innovative things, like the self-driving cars, which I can never see myself like getting in a car that I'm not gonna be behind the wheel. There's also.
Well, what if you're about 60 years old and
nah,
you gotta
man.
get somewhere but you can't drive?
No, as long as I'm able to drive, I'm gonna drive, and if I can't drive, I'll just take public transportation.
I ain't never catching the bus again. I'm sorry. I'm too crazy for that.
Brother say never catching a bus again.
Dude, can't do it.
Oh man. But I'm from the city, brother, and we rode the train and the bus wherever we went. Like that's just the reality. I didn't wind up owning a car back in the city until I was like, what? I think I had my second kid, and I don't even know why I had my own vehicle. I must have been crazy to own a vehicle in the city. But anyways, Bobby says that's my hobby. I'm a techie. Yeah, it is a hobby, and it's something that brother, I want to learn more about. Like I'm doing this video editing stuff. I'm using Resolve 16, the free version, because I've yet to really learn it. Once I learn it, I might invest whatever the money is to to get the whole suite. But at this point, it's good. It's all good, man. It's fun. Keep growing, keep learning.
Well, of course it's gonna be fun. But you are the innovator with the OLED screen, so you can get anything you want, though.
Well, there you go. You want to keep pushing that. You want to keep pushing that OLED screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that brother Dusty talk about the Tesla. Yeah, and parking in the city. Yeah, this ain't no such thing.
Don't trust me, brother. I live in the city, so I know. I know how bad the city is. I know how bad knuckleheads are, so you ain't saying nothing but a thing.
Oh, what's these mummies?
But I'm waiting for this. But I gotta ask you, brother, because I know, it's almost time for us to go and slobber on some pillows.
Yeah, we're coming up on an hour and a half.
What games are you looking forward to this year?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I'm currently playing, and this is how I should have started the podcast. I meant to start it up by asking, hey, what are you playing now and what are you looking forward to? But what I'm currently playing, and I've made a couple of videos, go check them out. I'm playing Ori and the Blind Forest, and I'm one of those that's late to the party, like really late, because I think Ori came out in 2015. Not too sure.
I think it's 2015.
But the game is amazing. Like, I have not played a game that has caught my full undivided attention like Ori and the Blind Forest, to the point where I want to 100% that game. I think I'm at the last.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm at the last bit of the game right now. But that game it's a masterpiece, man. I gotta go back and find out if it was even a contender for Game of the Year when it came out. Yeah, the game is Ori and the Blind Forest. You can actually, I think it's on Game Pass, and you can play it on Game Pass. The game is amazing. It's like a Metroidvania. I guess that's the category that they put it in.
Yeah.
The game is amazing, though. when you die in the game, you know it was because you just ain't do the right thing. Like, it never gets frustrating, and if it does get to a point where you're stuck, you can put the game down, you know, go make a sandwich or something, come back, and you'll get it.
Brother said, go make a sandwich.
Yeah, go make a sandwich, because maybe, you know, your sugar is down and you need, you know, I don't know. But it's a great game. I'm actually capturing gameplay on it, and maybe the next time we podcast, I might just loop it in the background as we chat it up. So we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. You seen me play it? Yeah. Yeah, I was playing it last night, as a matter of fact. So you was lurking in my stream, wasn't you?
Dusty, you a stalker, man.
Yeah.
Stop lurking.
Yeah, the game is great. And then I'm waiting on these slackers to get to gear score 150 in Breakpoint, so we can try that raid that's been out for like 2 months.
You gotta be slacking, man.
Because y'all slacking. I'm almost maxed out in my gear score, and all of y'all still like trying to make it to 150. I don't understand. I beat the story. I beat Walker. I don't understand. I'm just like...
Well, that means we gotta take a minute to go and grind. Grind.
Hey, I'm not gonna grind. I'm already at like 200 and something, so I'm gonna wait for you guys to catch up. I'll go play Ori. But
yes.
What game am I looking forward to in 2020? And there's games coming for Xbox. I am looking forward to... Y'all gonna laugh when I say this. The first one is obvious. I'm looking forward to Ori and the Will of the Wisp, because that's coming in I think, is it March? I forget when it's coming, but
I believe so.
Yeah, it's coming. It's like literally like right around the corner. And I'm actually interested in checking out Minecraft Dungeons.
Minecraft Dungeons?
Yes, please tell me you heard of it.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't necessarily buy it.
Oh, you ain't gotta buy it. It's gonna be on Game Pass.
It don't matter. I don't know if I can play it though.
What do you mean? Well, I can't play Minecraft. I can watch people play Minecraft, but personally, I don't play Minecraft because it bugs my eyes out. But the format that they put Minecraft Dungeons in is gonna be like that Diablo type style, and it just looks interesting to me. Like, I think I can get into it. So we'll see.
Well, you won't even get Diablo 3, man. What makes you think
you know what, brother? Because I've seen gameplay on it, and I've heard people play it and all that, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go into it, and I'm not going to be excited about it. Like, you know, like, I feel like I've already experienced that game through someone else. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm like... Yeah, I'm like, nah, I'm not going to waste my time and buy it. I mean, it comes out on sale, like, for $20 or whatever.
All the time?
Yeah, all the time. Dusty, you bought Modern Warfare for the PS4? You lucky dog. I refuse to buy that game. I refuse to buy Modern Warfare. I do. I refuse to buy Modern Warfare. I refuse to support Activision locking content onto one platform, because I know that they're all about that money. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna put my money where my mouth is, and I'm not purchasing that game. I never said that I'm never gonna purchase it, but I'm not paying no full price for the game.
Well, you know, you sound like that with Anthem, man.
What are you talking about?
Wait a year. It's been a year.
Oh yeah,
it's been a year.
It's almost been a year that I haven't played Anthem. And I said I wasn't going to play for a year, right? I remember. Yeah.
Yep. It's about time to pick up some matches.
Yeah, well, I think I might leave it for a stream. I might say, hey, guys, look, I'm about to... Or I might do a video on it and say, look, I'm about to boot up Anthem after a year of not playing it. and let's see where it's at. Maybe it's gonna be a whole new experience that I'm gonna be like, oh man, this is the best game there is. Who knows?
Well, they are redoing the game again.
Well, they say they're redoing it. I haven't followed the news unless you know something I don't know.
I really haven't followed it too much, but
Okay.
you know, I do know that they are going to redo it,
Okay.
and a lot of people are upset with EA because Anthem was something that they promised and they didn't deliver.
Well, I mean, I'm not defending EA, but they're not the first, and they definitely won't be the last. I know I enjoyed it when it came out. I like the flying mechanics. I think the game, there's a skeleton and an idea there, but no content. So, but I'm not gonna talk about Anthem. Dusty says, it's good, bro. Been loving my PS4. Oh yeah, PS4 is great. I would like it. Yeah, I know I would love Modern Warfare, but I can't do it, man. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I stopped playing Modern Warfare from back in the days, so I just can't do it. Christmas sale for $35. That's great. That's the time to get it. You uninstalled Anthem.
Look at.
You and a lot of other people. I still got Anthem on my hard
Yeah.
drive. I still got it on my hard drive.
Me too.
I haven't deleted it or uninstalled it because I'm gonna boot it up. When did Anthem come out? February of last year?
February, like the middle of February, I think.
Okay. So
We
I'm gonna
were
find out when
excited it came out.
I'm gonna find out when it came out last year, and that's gonna be the day that I'm gonna boot it up and make a video. I'm gonna jump in there. I'm gonna say 1 year later. Booting up Anthem 1 year later. Yeah. Yeah, wait for that video, guys. I'm definitely gonna put that up and put it on YouTube.
I might have to be a part of that one. I don't know. I just want to be there when you are playing Anthem again.
Well,
Just to hear your
I'm gonna
responses.
see what my impression is after a year hiatus. Bobby, what was this? Bobby, I keep saying Bobby because I keep looking at the name. Dusty, you said what? It says same with Star Wars games. You talking about like the first person Star Wars games, the shooters, right? Yeah, I did play COD.
Oh,
I did play COD when we met. Yeah, on the stream. I forget which one was that.
Did you didn't play Call of Duty?
Yeah, I did play. Yeah, I did play Call of Duty on the stream. Yeah, but that's when they went back to the old school type. I forget which one it was. But yeah, I did play Call of Duty. I got nothing against Call of Duty. It's just you know where that company's coming from, and you either realize that, and again, you put your money where your mouth is, and if you want to go buy it and you know what to expect, don't complain about microtransactions and all that other stuff. It comes with the territory. But yeah, it is what it is. All right, guys.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
I'm getting a little bit worn out here. I think that we're gonna call it quits here in a couple minutes. But yeah, I told you what I'm playing and what I'm looking forward to. What are you playing and what are you looking forward to, Jay? Before we shut it down.
Well, right now, I'm still playing Mighty Number 9. And for those of you who want to knock me for it, I'm sorry. I've been a Mega Man fan for years, so I will play Mighty Number 9. And as far as what I'm looking forward to, I don't know really right now. There hasn't been really much of anything that's just stuck out to just make me want to buy. So I'm on the shelf until further notice as far as what's coming out this year.
Okay. Well, I mean, you got Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you remember all these first party games that are going to be dropping, they're going to drop day and date on Game Pass. So, it's not necessarily going out and buying something. I know that I still got a backlog of games that I want to play. You know, Ori was one of those games. I still want to play Rise of the Tomb Raider. I got Jedi Fallen Order waiting, which I'm going to play right after I finish Ori. So yeah, I actually got Assassin's Creed Odyssey that I never cracked. I got that on a deep sale. So yeah, there's a ton of games.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a ton of games in my backlog that I get you, brother. Like, is there really a need for me to go out and buy something? Not really. Do I do it? Yeah, from time to time. But yeah, I want to get back into these older games and try to clear up, you know, at least touch the games. That's one of the things I said in 2020 I would do. I would go back into my game catalog, at least boot up the game, play it. If it catches my attention, I'll keep playing it. Once I lose interest, I'll just drop it and move on to the next one. And that's just how I'm going to address my backlog. So that's
that's how
basically
you're going to address it.
Yeah, I mean, it's sitting there. You know what I'm saying? How many of us listening to this if you made it all the way to the end of this video, congratulations. We're going to be wrapping it up. But, you know, I'm going to leave you with that. How many of you have a backlog of games and you ain't got no time to play it? And you just keep adding games to it? You know? So I'm not one complaining and saying, oh, I can't, you know, why isn't Xbox or PlayStation making this game or the sequel to that? I got games to last me for a good long time. So
I will say there is a game I've been thinking about replaying, and that's Shadow of War.
Brother, haven't you ended that game like 3 times already?
The first one, not the second one. I'm gonna do the second one.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you see, I mean, there's always those games that call us back. And from time to time, we jump in and we kind of like fall in love with the game again, for better or worse. That almost happened to me with Destiny 2. But that'll be another episode for another time, brother. Most definitely.
Oh, yeah, brother. You know, today was a great episode. You know, gotta talk about it a lot. Got to let the people get to know us. You know, I hope you guys keep coming back. I hope you keep tuning in. No, please do. We would love to have you. It's only going to get better from here.
Yeah, we're just going to grow together, move forward together. Dusty, I appreciate you being in the chat. Dusty said he ain't got nothing in mind at the moment to play. He's loving that PS4 Pro. I'm so glad that you still got that. I was going to ask you still got your PlayStation, or did your daughter take over? Anyways, yeah, Sleek. Yeah, Sleek is these days, I think, playing more Nintendo games than anything. But hey, it's all good. Whatever platform it is that you're playing on, wherever you enjoy your gaming, people, have a good time. Enjoy each other, enjoy one another, enjoy the moment. It's a great time to be a gamer. Moving forward, there's just gonna be more news and more stuff to talk about, and hopefully we'll be around to chit chat from a casual gamer's point of view, just having fun right along with you. Jay, any final words before we shut it down?
Once again, you guys have
all right,
a great
Dusty,
night.
love you too, man. I'm sorry, Jay, I cut you off there.
No, you good, Dusty. Have a good night. Everybody out there, have a great night. You know, I love you all. You know, whatever you do, whatever system you play, whatever game you play, pick up your controller, game hard, and keep it drama-free.
That's right. Keep it drama-free, people. Be good to one another. Catch you on the next one. Have a good night.